So first of all, the person who started St. Lucia Jazz was Allen Chastanet, okay, back in 1992.
After taking credit for the founding of the Jazz Festival over 30 years ago, the man who scaled back the event in 2017, opposition leader Allen Chastanet, has expressed doubts about the outcome of the 2023 revamp of the brand to sold-out arenas under the current administration. There were capacity crowds and rave reviews, but Chastanet questions the return on investment and the impact on tourism numbers. He doubts the effectiveness of the marketing, saying it missed the mark in source markets.
I'm very happy that coming out of COVID and many people who had not had the opportunity to travel, this was one of the first big events that we've had since COVID. So for the people, I'm very happy. I love to see people enjoying themselves and entertaining themselves. What I would question is the amount of money that was spent on Jazz Festival this year, which seems to be in excess of $12 million. We know that the government put $8 million in, and the remaining amount would have come. That the late announcement of Jazz was only announced in February, and therefore that's why we didn't see any arrivals at HIA. It was too late in the game for the British and the Americans and the Canadians to meaningfully participate in the Jazz Festival. And you would have seen for yourself, most of the people who came internationally really came from Martinique, maybe Dominica, and St. Vincent, because we don't even have interregional travel.
Chastanet and the opposition contend the festival was a missed opportunity to attract more tourists to the island, citing ill-timed marketing. The man who scrapped the jazz opener at Marcia, relegated the showpiece to hotel venues, and subsumed it into the summer festival dubbed Soleil, remains resolute.
When we decided to change the format of jazz, so we took elements of the Jazz and Arts Festival and decided, instead of having them all on 1 week, because it got to the point where the hotel rooms were being filled up with production people, with the artists and all the producers, and so the economic impact was being lost, and we were no longer on TV, right? So the idea was to go to a pure jazz festival, because we believed that we could be the best pure jazz festival in the Caribbean, and one of the best in the world, because that's what we were being ranked at initially when we first launched. If you all remember, one of the best jazz festivals in the world. Okay. We then took the roots part of the festival and put it on a different week, and to create a summer festival so that we could now stretch it out and we wouldn't have to spend as much money on production cost.
The opposition leader prefers more investment in marketing Creole Heritage Month and the Carnival, suggested more time for domestic acts and broadcasts beamed into households in source tourism markets.
They have laid down a stake in the ground to suggest that jazz not only was an event to help the local economy, but was also going to help tourism. In time, we'll see whether that's the case or not, but I don't want to take away in any way from the people who enjoyed it, the local artists that got to participate. I always love to see their exposure. I was hoping that there would have been more TV coverage, a more international coverage and exposure. I'm not really getting a sense that was really put in play. So that would be our comments on it.
Chastanet expressed low confidence in the overall tourism marketing strategy of the current government. The St. Lucia Jazz Festival was founded under the auspices and policy direction of the late ex-Castries East and Tourism Minister Romanus Lancico in 1991 to 1992, with Luther Francois as musical director. Chastanet was then the director of tourism, but other officials contributed. No one save the current opposition leader has publicly staked sole claim to establishing the festival. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.